I was born in Oklahoma. My parents were both professionals. My mom was a registered nurse. My dad worked for Boeing. So we traveled a lot in my early elementary school years. I went to 3 different schools in 3rd grade. We ended up in Pacific Northwest in Seattle, and they loved the area, so we kind of settled there. I spent 10 years there, and it's a beautiful place. But in my 13th year, they took me to Disneyland for spring break, and I said, oh, a place where the sun shines every day. I want to come here when I grow up. And lo and behold, that's how it turned out. I moved down here in the late 70s and hope to never leave the Bay Area. How I grew up, my parents in our household, I had a very nice life. We were raised Catholic. I went to parochial schools, even to the point of going to a Jesuit college in Seattle. And my dad was the picture of fairness and hard work. I remember a couple of times he went to work with 102 fever. He was just not going to miss work. And so he was a picture every day of hard work and being honest and being honorable. And my mom, took care of the house and took care of us kids. And you don't realize it at the time, but it becomes a part of you. I try to do my best every single day, and I try to be honorable, to live my life with honor, and not, treat someone badly, like I would not wanted to be treated. So it's ingrained in me, and I feel like if I can share that with as many people as I can while I'm still here, then that'll be my reward. We moved to Vallejo in 2008 from Berkeley, and by necessity, just because the rents were nice and low here. And it took maybe a couple of months and we were completely at home. We just grew to really love this area, the city, the people, its location with the water and everything. My husband was working in the city at that time, and I was working as a contractor. And we were just starting to get to know our community. We were driving around. That was the time of the housing crisis, as well as the bankruptcy. As we were going through that time, we saw more and more people, saw more and more stories in the newspaper of people losing their homes, falling on really hard times. And my husband and I were driving around one day, and he turned to me and he said, I think God is telling me to feed these people. And I said, We'd only been married like 4 years at that point, so I wasn't quite sure what he meant, but we'd both had previous experience a little bit in food pantries, and so I researched, what it took to become a food pantry in this area. We gave a proposal to our church, Faith Bible Church of Vallejo, to see if they would sponsor us and help us, and they agreed. And we started in June of 2011 in, thankfully, a warehouse across the street from the church that was empty. And we just started handing out bags at that time of food. And it was all canned food in the beginning. And we just kind of learned as we went. I think if I'd known what we were getting into way back then, I might have had second thoughts, but it's changed me as a person. I am not the same person I was when I started. I was extremely introverted, and now I love the people. I've come to love the people that we see day in and day out over there, and it's really grown into my passion to help the city of Vallejo lift up the people who need the help the most. I've been in a variety of industries throughout my career, the high-tech industry, journalism, self-employed, even the banking industry, and especially the nonprofit industry. And unfortunately, in every single one of them, women are paid less and not given the same opportunities as males. And I've dealt with it just by doing my best, by working my hardest, and bringing my best every day, and not being discouraged, and being positive. And I think when I talk to young people and young women today that are just starting out, it's really a matter of having faith in yourself, having faith in your convictions, and speaking up when it needs to be spoken, and just, trying every day to, if you see something that's not fair, it's okay to call it out. It's maybe you'll get a little backlash, but it'll be far better for you to have done that than to just have gone along with the status quo and, kept that system of inequality going. So I'm not a big, radical rabble rouser, or, I just do it a little bit on the quiet side. I try to lift up women whenever I can. I think women are the most fantastic human beings in the world. They're all smart, they're all beautiful in their own special way. And I want to encourage women, whenever I get a chance, to be the best that they can be, because I know they can do it. We're really smart people. I just am struck sometimes by people who are afraid. And, I had the benefit and the privilege of growing up in a nice, safe atmosphere. I realize not everybody has that. But I think fear is a very debilitating state of mind. I feel like I started not being afraid when I was about in my 30s, and by my 40s I was completely unafraid. The worst thing you can do is just sit back and go, oh, if only I had taken that chance and done that crazy thing that I thought of, what would have happened? And I've taken a lot of those crazy chances, and some of them worked and some of them didn't, but I always learned. So I feel like if you're hesitating because you're scared of what might happen, just toss it away and go ahead and walk down that road, because you'll learn something and you'll be a better person for it.